Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. We're going through some of our new products today. The topic we have today is leverage HD-TVI 3.0 and 5 megapixel IP for vertical markets. Let me introduce myself. My name is Marlon. I'm the product manager for the IP cameras, and we have Audrey here with me too. And she will speak to you guys in a momentarily. And she's also our product manager for the TVI systems. But before we talk about the new exciting products, I want to talk about LTS. LTS is in security field for a long time, and one thing we're good at and one thing we focus on is security product, which is CCTV. So not like a lot of different companies, they do a little bit of everything, but for us, we focus on the CCTV part strictly. And since 2009, our growth rate is increased rapidly, averaged by 40% per year. So LTS has been growing fast, but the most important thing is thanks to all the customer like you guys give us support. I'm based up in New Jersey, which is, we will talk about a little bit in the next couple of slides later, which is our R&D in the US office. As I said, we have 9 locations. Each location, we have our certified local technician, manufacturing and local product support, which is something we really help you guys with because you want to speak to someone local. You don't want to be talking to someone overseas or out of time zone because maybe when you get up to work at 9 o'clock, when you call California, there are 6 o'clock, no one's working. So that's why we have local support and local warehouses. Each location we have all sales and, as I said, warehouse to support our customer and also provide like army service, things like that. So this is a map or where our LTS really located. So as I mentioned before, we have 9 locations, and the most important one is we have the R&D center that we established last year, which is in New Jersey, which is where we located. It's pretty much all the product manager located, and we are the one that listen to you guys and create a better product or increase the features of our existing products. And also we have a Europe center, and of course our manufacturer is based in China. So what LTS really good at, when you usually buy a product from any kind of vendor, the most important thing you look at is warranty, right? You buy a TV, you don't want to buy a TV with only like 3 months warranty. You're looking for something at least a year or 3 years, sometimes, depends on the brand. Warranty is one of the most important part, and also tech support. And by doing that, we go to like trade shows, like as you see in the picture around, this is one of the show in, I believe, one in Maryland or in Houston. So we go to the show all the time to present ourselves to our customer and introduce new products, talk to you guys face-to-face, and that's our goal. And of course, each location, they also have seminars. So if you're a New Jersey customer, I'm pretty sure you have received some emails regarding our seminar. We usually have it like a few times a year. And of course, lunch is also included, if you didn't know. Our marketing team is working very hard to provide YouTube channels, to update our YouTube channel with tutorials and guide on how to set up or also troubleshoot our products. Ever since the YouTube introduced to our world, everyone likes to look at video instead of reading stacks of paper of instruction, right? A video could save you tons of time, and this is why LTS marketing team is working very hard to improve it. And of course, we also offer free DNS, which is a lot of our competitor doesn't do that. We don't charge you extra, and it's implemented to our NVR, and it's free. And also, more importantly, is we provide firmware upgrade throughout the year. Major upgrade, we usually have it once to twice a year, and bug fix, depends on how critical the bug is. And the most important thing is firmware upgrade is also free. Back in last year, we used our firmware upgrade to add a new feature, which is we call it VCA, Video Content Analytics. It's a new exciting features that our customers been using. It create a lot of opportunity for our customers to able to win some bidding war between other competitors. We will continue to do that throughout future. We will also roll out more features by firmware upgrades. But one of the things that people really look at is warranty. We provide 3 years warranty for our products, IP cameras, NVR, things like that. We provide 3 years warranty. What backs up the 3-year warranty is our RMA service. Our RMA service is top notch. If you did happen to like a camera broke down, you bring it to our store. We don't really like tell you, okay, leave it here. We have to send it back to the manufacturer, and when we get a replacement, we give it to you. Ironically, is really how RMA works. When you buy a TV, you have to ship it back to them, and they fix it, they ship it back to you, right? They don't really give you replacement right away. But LTS is different. We take our customers' priority, first. We know that if you take down the camera is not there anymore, so which is critical. That's why we have hassle-free RMA. If our RMA department determine the camera is bad, we'll give you a replacement off the spot. You don't have to wait for a month for you to get the camera back. So that's something that we offer, which is, we get a lot of compliment on that part too, which is, I think, is a really good thing. And the next thing is we provide lifetime tech support. I'm pretty sure things have happened, like, when you're in a rush and you got into some kind of issue and then you couldn't figure it out because normally you do, but somehow you got stuck, and you give us a call and we're able to help you out. And we have LTS recently implemented a ticket system. So like all your ticket will be logged in our system and knowing what you call from, previously. So which is help our tech support to serve you better. Okay, we have each location demo rooms. So like the picture you're looking at is one of our LA office demo. We also have something similar in New Jersey, and we are always try to increase the appearance to you guys about the product. The reason why we have so much demo in our demo room, because when you call us or when you come down to our office, you only look at the catalog. You don't get to feel the actual product. So that's why we create this product demo room, to provide better experience for our customers. So you know what exactly you're buying, how big it is, what kind of feature you will get, how's the picture quality, things like that. So that's why we create this product room. And also our new catalog just rolled out will also have the dimension on each cameras and also the NVRs and the DVR. That's something that you guys can look into, just in case you need to know the size of the product you're looking for. So I'm going to pass it on to Audrey.
Okay, thank you, Marlon. Hi, everyone. My name is Audrey Liu, and I'm the LTS very own product manager based in New Jersey. So before I start my presentation, I just take a few minutes to tell you what you're going to expect to hear in the next approximately 15 minutes. First of all, we're going to start with HD-TVI 3.0 solutions, and then followed by 5 megapixel IP camera, which we newly launched just, I think, only a couple of weeks. And also at the end, we have a couple of case studies to share and additional 10 minutes, after which additional 10 minutes will be for the Q&A section. About 2 years ago, LTS introduced HD-TVI concept to this market. We probably were the first company in the United States who tell our customer that even though it's analog, we can achieve high definition. And 2 years later, LTS again became one of the first to bring the HD-TVI 3.0. A lot of people would think, is 3.0 as simply 3 megapixel? Yes, but beyond that, not only higher resolution, 3.0 technology gives us higher compression efficiency, which we call it H.264 Zip plus technology, and also better compatibility, which means we can connect to 3 megapixel, 2 megapixel, 720p TVI, and up to 4 megapixel IP camera, and even your traditional legacy analog. And we also, with motorized lens introduced to this product line, provide easier installation to our customers. Together, we call it HD-TVI 3.0 solution. So what's new about TVI 3.0 solutions? We have our TVI 3.0 cameras and DVRs as well. So for the basic, also we have 2 series in the TVI 3.0 cameras. We have basic features for our cameras, have higher resolution, and 3 different options of the fixed lens. We actually introduced the 6 millimeter to the market. Before, we only have 2.8 and a 3.6. And also matrix IR, UR listed, IP66, weatherproof. For our advanced series, we have true double DR and a motorized lens. Later on, I'll introduce each these technologies for those who aren't familiar with those terminologies. And TVI 3.0 DVRs has better, as I said before, has better compatibility. We can connect to all the TVI cameras and IP cameras up to 4 megapixel IP cameras. And also for the DVR, we have a CVBS output for you to do the spot outs. Our DVR also support up to 4 channels POS station. This is a good question. Is 3.0 DVR as backward compatible with older TVI cameras? Are these DVRs also compatible with analog camera? The answer, Angelo, the answer is yes. Let me repeat the question again. Is 3.0 DVR backward compatible with older TVI cameras? Yes. This DVR, LTS, we call LTD85 series. LTD8504 means 4-channel. LTD8508 is 8-channel, and 8516 is 16 channels. All the 3 models backward compatible can use 720p TVI, 1080p, 720p TVI, 1080p TVI, and our new 3.0 megapixel TVI cameras. Also, your legacy analog camera. So this is our TVI 3.0 camera product family for the fixed lens. You can see we have a 2 turret. One is on the left, upper left is a small turret. The IR range up to this 65, and on the right, the turret is 131 feet. And we have a dome and a 2 bullet. So the good news about this whole product family is all of them have matrix IR. The next slide is 3 megapixel motorized lens ones. We covered all the housings, turret, dome, and bullet. So basically we're showing right now is our newly introduced launched 3.0 megapixel TVI cameras motorized lens, 2.8 to 12 millimeter motorized lens with turret, vandal dome, and bullet housing. For those who couldn't see earlier, I have to go backward one slide up. This is our fixed lens. We have a mini dome and the regular mini turret, regular turret, mini bullet, regular bullet, and a dome. Actually, I want to see one more thing. This is the first time that LTS can combine the matrix IR into a dome housing. So for those who always want a dome, but you can't seem to find a matrix IR in the dome, you want to enjoy the technology, but if also you want to use a dome housing, this is a product you really take a look at it. And the difference, I think the small turret and the small mini bullet and the regular turret and bullet, the difference is IR lens, how long the IR can go. I got a question here from Mr. Chen. For the turret cameras, why don't you make the old screw-on covers much more easier to install? Screws on the covers. Mr. Chen, are you talking about the one on the upper left? Top left and right. Okay, we hear you. We definitely will look into it, and hopefully we have some mechanical improvement on those two cameras. For you, the old were easier. If you could kindly show me the old eyeball, the turret one, what that look like, that'd be great too. But definitely that we hear you. We hear you. We're gonna take a close look at this one. And also, I think some customer particularly like this housing on the upper left is because it actually helps to fix the dome. Then no one else can move it. Someone else want to try to move the camera to a different direction with that lock, you actually couldn't move it. It's actually add another layer of security to it. And here is our back end. After we talk about the cameras, here is our TVI DVR. So this TVI DVR, as I said, there's 4 advantages of TVI 3.0 technology. We have a definitely higher resolution, and here we have better compatibility. And this one we have a better efficiency compression technology, which we're gonna introduce H.264 Zip Plus. And this technology also being applied to I think our high-end IP cameras and NVR as well. The DVR basically not only connect to 3 megapixel, but 1080p and 720p. And also big improvement is can connect to 2 IP cameras up to 4 megapixel. Previously, our Platinum link the IP camera can only connect up to 2 channels 1080p IP cameras. And our output for the HDMI can go up to 2K. That's 2560 times 1440. That's almost 5 megapixel, a little bit more than 5 megapixel HD output, video output. We can do 1080p real-time recording at 30 frames per second. And we got alarm in and out, and audio in and out, and the POS. So basically, this is our high-end, I would say the best of the best product ever, most compatible product in our Platinum LTS TVI DVR lineup. Colin asked, when does the 32 channels come out? Good question. That's going to be, our roadmap going to be early next year. Probably going to have both 24 channels and 32 channels. This product is also available in 4 channels and 8 channels. We're going to talk about our matrix IR. So here is a video that showing the benefit of the matrix IR we have. This is a short and sweet video about our matrix IR. Basically, to make most of the IR LED light, the matrix IR produce LED lights in the form of rectangle. So this allows a better feed for a screen aspect ratio. Currently we're using as either as 4:3 or 16:9. Additionally, the matrix IR helps improve LED utilization efficiency, and with matrix IR the illumination got 30 to 40% higher efficiency over the traditional LED array technology. Also, it eliminates the overexposure at the center of the image as well as the dark areas at the corner. I got a question from Mr. Cheng again. Will the zooming in be better for 3.0? Of course, I think with your higher resolution and high definition, the zooming in will definitely provide a better pixel per foot. You have definitely the picture quality and the sharpness will be better, will be improved as well. And matrix IR both exist in our high definition and IP cameras. This one delivers superb image detail in poorly lit environments, better providing for the solutions such as industrial parks, harbors, roads, and airports, etc. Previously, we also mentioned the true WDR. With our new 3.0 TVI, we have what we call H series. All of them not only have matrix IR, but also true WDR. WDR stands for wide dynamic range. And also, basically, a lot of people probably heard DWDR or electric WDR in the market, but electrical DWDR is post-processing. What we look at is basically it looks like a Photoshop effect, and most of the time it yields very poor result. However, we call the true WDR 120 dB. It uses technology we call multi-exposure WDR. It's used short and long exposure by using one quick shutter speed and one slow shutter speed, and then combine them together. Use various different technologies, create a better, sharper image to actually for those difficult lighting situations such as areas with extremely bright in the dark or in the backlight situation such as this you can see here on the screen, or a person is in front of bright windows or entrance or here in the parking lot. They have very challenging and difficult lightings. This technology WDR is perfect for retail, restaurant, office buildings, and even for the police station. That the 3 megapixel TVI affect the aspect ratio compared to 2.3 megapixel. 3 megapixel TVI, the aspect ratio is 4:3, and the 1080p, which is 2.1, is 16:9. Here is a short video for the true WDR.
WDR, or Wide Dynamic Range technology, helps solve installations with contrastingly lit areas. After logging into your UI, under Configuration, you will see backlight settings. With WDR turned off, dark areas are harder to see. When turned on, notice how the camera adjusts itself to expose correctly, giving you the ability to see everything clearly. Cameras are commonly installed in contrasting lit premises, like business lobbies, warehouse docks, parking structures, and more. Experience the WDR difference with LTS surveillance cameras. For more information, call your sales representative today. LTS brings you video solutions for security professionals.
So actually the following slide will introduce all those different series and models of new TVI 3.0 cameras. As you can see here, we have a small bullet. With WDR, we call H series, and without WDR, only matrix IR, we call L series. So our true WDR is 120 dB. Basically, this means a higher WDR range. It represents the camera can catch better or greater scale of brightness. So basically, usually this number, the higher the better. And right now 120 dB is commonly used for the higher standard WDR range. If you say the market, if you say 60, 80, 90, well, sometimes they may use electronic WDR or it's called DWDR, or sometimes they're really not true. Basically, that doesn't mean they're true WDR. So some manufacturers try to use these terminologies to show that they have that ability. However, you have to be careful when you choose the camera when it comes to the WDR, wide dynamic range. The result, you will see is very different. And here we have different lens options and 2 matrix IR up to 65 feet, and also indoor and outdoor weatherproof. This one I have to point out is the TVI 3.0 DVR must be used with our TVI cameras. This TVI, all the 3.0 cameras must be used with our TVI 3.0 DVRs, which we just introduced, LTD-85 series. Next one is our bigger bullet. It's 92T2. This is also fixed lens. The difference compared to the last one, the mini bullet, is IR range. This one has two big matrix IR at each side of the lens, the left one and the right one, and also double the IR distance to 131 feet. Also, we introduced a 6mm fixed lens one for certain customers who don't want to pay the price difference for the varifocal, but only will want to see a particular thing a longer distance. 6mm will be a great choice for you. And here is our mini turret. Also have different. It's basically a different housing of the mini bullet, and all the specs the same. We have different 2 series and an IR up to 65. Let's have a bigger bullet, 17T2. I'm going to quickly go through this slides, and here is our dome. Again, I want to mention again is the first time we actually put matrix AR in the Vandal dome. If you want 2 things together, this is a great choice for you guys. And also this one is 2.8 fixed lens, but we will come with 3.6mm as well. Here is our motorized ones. With motorized can make our installation effortless, and basically also you save time as well. Instead of going up ladders and readjust the lens, zoom in and zoom out and focus. Traditional is very time consuming, and probably you're going to take 1 more person to do it. And now with motorized lens, our LTS motorized lens, basically you can do this job without going outside, just by doing it in front of your computer or NVR or mobile device. You can adjust the zoom and focus remotely. We have 2.8 to 12mm motorized varifocal lens. And all our motorized lens come with true double DR and matrix IR. And all of them have dual voltage. Here's as well. This is a bullet housing. That's basically the same thing as a dome. The matrix IR, true double DR, dual voltage, and this is for the turret. Motorized lens as well. Mr. Chen have another question. Basically, if you want to have different appearance, right? The options for now having a particular logo on a product. Well, currently we don't have this plan at this point. However, for the details, I think if down the road we will have this plan, definitely we will ask our sales to contact you. Just let me know. Talk with your sales representatives with LTS. If we have anything come up that maybe you need, definitely you'll be the first to know. At the end of my presentation for the TVS 3.0, this is another video to show that the whole product family from the front end, we call the front end, internally we call the front end is basically the camera. At the back end, internally we call it back end, which means it's TVI DVR. Just give you the overview of what we have.
The all-new 3-megapixel HD-TVI solution resolves analog key barriers with improved distance performance and AHD compliant. The all-new 3-megapixel HD-TVI is now available at LTS. LTS is the first to come out with the higher resolution 3-megapixel HD-TVI solution with sleek new housings and a powerful 3-megapixel compliant HD-TVI DVR.
And the clients are really in love with it because it looks almost like they're looking right into the window of the store. So they're totally ecstatic about the fact that they do have that quality in the HD-TVI.
Most applications can benefit from the Matrix IR True WDR 120dB, a wider field of view and higher resolution that is helping change the way integrators and installers do business in the analog mid-level market.
So I think that the customer will appreciate using a 3-megapixel as opposed to a 2, or they'll appreciate it because they don't have to go through expense of buying an IP camera system. So they've got the technology that's increasing with the decreased cost for the HD-TVI versus the IP.
The newer generation of analog HD is here. Obtaining the precise angle with HD-TVI motorized lens is convenient with less setup time. With the new HD-TVI DVR, LTS is adding ample support like stronger CPUs, AHD recorder support, 2-channel IP camera input, a trio of video output, and more. For more information, contact your LTS specialist today.
I probably shared too many videos. So I got one more question from Kevin, and that's a very good question. The question is, what scenario would a motorized lens be used for? So from our experience, Kevin, I mean, anyone else who want to share, that'd be great as well. We can treat this as a forum. Anyone else or any installers, you have more experience in installations than us, so please share. My 2 cents is motorized lens, basically there's no best scenario for that. You have to use motorized lens. It's for you and also for your customer. For you as an installer with motorized lens, first of all, you save your time and you don't have to actually go back and forth if someday your customer is not satisfied with the current particular focus or particular zoom. If they want to change, you don't have to go there. You just do it in front of your computer or even at the fingertips on your mobile phone, or you ask your customer to do it at the NVR, so you don't have to climb up and down the ladders in the winter or in the summer or any different weather condition that you don't want to, it seems like you don't want to go out. And this is number one. And also for customers, it's a convenient. I'll save their time. They can change the settings anytime they want, very conveniently, and do it remotely. And also for varifocal, we all know that sometimes if we point to a particular thing, and most of us do the job in the morning during the day, when we think we gave a sharp based on our adjustment at that point of day. However, sometimes the picture will become fuzzy or become smeared when it comes to the evening. It's just because of the light. And at this point, you don't have to go there to adjust it anymore. You can control the day and the lights, the different day and the lights coming to the lens. And the only thing you can do is adjust the focus and the zoom remotely from your computer. So I really get a lot of response here from a bunch of people, my dear audience here. See here, I want to share Colin. I'm not sure if all of you guys can see Colin's response. So I want to share Colin's feedback. Colin said, I just ordered 60 motorized lens TVI cameras. Thank you, Colin, again. For a warehouse where most of them are 50 feet up in the air. Exactly. You don't want to go up there again, right? 50 feet. That's really high. Thank you, Colin. Angelo, good response. Angelo said, love the motorized lens. Anytime I'm high up in the warehouse or on a pole in a parking lot, and make sure my customer purchases. Smart. Thank you so much, Angelo. That's great. And Colin said, not getting out the lift to adjust the camera after install. Also, easier to get focus if it goes out. Yes, exactly. It saves time and money. Exactly. I hate to say that, but it's true. Time is money. If you can go in and out very quickly and you can adjust without going there to meet your customer again, that would be perfect. It has to be focused. Kevin said it has to be focused in the right direction. However, correct, it is not a PTZ. Well, Kevin, for that part, it is true. No matter it's turret or bullet or dome, well, you have to point at the right direction. This one doesn't have the pen or tail function here. You can only remote zoom in and zoom out and focus. Yes, you are right. I think I finished TVI part. Oh, just one thing from Jake. One of the best things about the camera is that customers change what they want to see and it can be done remotely. Exactly. Thank you guys. You helped me answer Kevin's questions. That's great response. I like it. I like them all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Colin, Angelo, and Colin again, and Jake. Thank you. Now I'm going to pass on to Marlon for the IP camera section.
I hope you guys enjoyed the content that Audrey was presenting, and I hope everything was useful and you could apply to your new job, and hopefully we continue to grow together. Right now we're going to talk about the IP camera, which is we introduced a 5 megapixel. Some of you guys that have been with us for a certain time probably will say, oh, you guys already have 5 megapixel. Yes, we did. It was our very first 5 megapixel. The reason why we introduced the new 5 megapixel is because first of the pricing is much more competitive comparing to the previous one. The previous pricing is probably more than 50% cheaper than the previous version. And of course, not just the pricing is cheaper, and also considering the quality of the camera and also the feature it supports. If you remember, the 5 megapixel that we had back then was only able to run 7 frames per second. But now we're able to run 20 frames per second for the new 5 megapixel cameras. And of course, we have also introduced motorized. Back then when we had the 5 megapixel, the motorized lens, I think it was around $500. Now, I believe it's below 3 or around 3, something like that. The pricing is a lot cheaper comparing to the previous version. And of course, when you're running 5 megapixel with 20 frames per second, you're going to need a lot of storage. We also introduced H.264 Zip Plus earlier this year for our IP cameras, so that will significantly reduce your storage shortage. And of course, all IP 5 megapixel cameras going to be IP66. So I'm going to play a video to help you guys recap what was H.264 Zip Plus. So that was the video, and it's just one of the video that our marketing put together like when we were working on the Zip Plus. This is one of my favorite camera. We call it the Turn Matrix IR. The reason I chose this camera is because there's many different reasons. We know what Matrix IR do, and most of the time when you put up a camera, you want to catch the crime in act. But especially when you have traditional IR, the Matrix IR were able to provide one thing that traditional IR cannot do, which is more invisible. So like if you have a customer they're looking for a camera that's more invisible, or they don't want to have any IR at all, but unfortunately we don't have that. But with Matrix IR, instead of like 24 IRs or 42 IRs, you only have one single red dot, which just makes it more invisible. So that's something that you guys can offer to your customer if they are looking for something like this. And just like our typical 4 megapixel, this camera also has everything included, which is the same IR distance, also have 3D DNR, it has DWDR, BLC, also VCA, and most importantly, it also comes with Zip Plus feature. So this camera is very interesting, call it the mini dome. We have a lot of customers that install this camera for very low profile ceiling. So in that case, you don't have to worry about camera being too big in the ceiling. So this camera will definitely do its job. This camera also supports micro SD card up to 128 gig. It also has alarm in and out. This camera has a microphone built in, so you don't have to use additional microphone. And also, if you see, this camera is a mini dome, so it's also render proof. And most importantly, also H.264 Zip Plus ready. And now this shape of camera is probably the most industrial standard right now. We always call it render dome, a dome camera or something like that. So it's also going to be included in our 5 megapixel product lineup. It's going to be the same exact looking design instead of just have 5 megapixel. And this one is also IK10 render proof. We also offer this camera in black, just in case you guys have working in a bar, some kind of area have like dark ceiling, so this camera would blend in. So this is one of the camera that we introduced when the 4 megapixel came to our product lineup. This camera is very interesting. It actually has 2 Matrix IR. You will have one on the left and one on the right next to the lens. So this camera is very clear at nighttime. This camera is very interesting. It also comes with a junction box. It might not be very clear on the picture, but you can see there's a junction box that came with it too. Our varifocal motorized lens. This is a we also call it render dome. This camera also comes in motorized lens. It will be 2.8 to 12 millimeter. It also have SD card slots up to 128 gig. And excuse me for the picture that may be a little overlap the 128 gig. It's also render proof and Zip Plus ready. And now here comes the bullet camera that we sell a lot. But this camera can come in motorized lens, and all the bells and whistles also be included, such as the SD card slots, audio in-out, alarm input, things like that. I'm gonna play a video that our marketing team put together for our 5 megapixel lineup.
LTS is proud to announce the all-new 5 megapixel network IP cameras featuring superior image quality, more lens options, and H.264 Zip Plus ready. See improved video evidence at 2560 by 1920p, built-in video analytics, better flexibility, and best of all, it's cost-effective. Cover great distances, giving you both wide overviews and detailed images perfect in day and night. LTS collaborates with high-level integration partners. LTS IP cameras and NVRs are compatible with Milestone, Control4, QNAP, and more. Meet industry standard demands with ONVIF, UL-listed, vandal-proof, 3-year warranty, and more. Improve business security operations with smart built-in video content analytics featuring line crossing and intrusion detection. These cameras can maximize your surveillance coverage with a wider or narrower field of view from 2.8 to 12 millimeters. Some cameras have audio input and output. When paired with LTN89 series NVR, the Zip Plus Ready IP cameras provides more video data with nearly half the storage space needed, double your recording time, free of charge, with onboard storage up to 128 gigabytes. Make the right choice for large-scale security projects with LTS 5-megapixel network IP cameras.
Kevin have a question about what does the SD card really do? So I do want to give you a little idea. The SD card works like a hard drive in the NVR. So that means the camera will be a standalone device. You don't really need an NVR to operate. So everything going to record to the SD card. Let's say if you purchase the 3152-28 or the 7452, whichever the one that comes with SD card slot, the camera can operate on its own. So basically all you have to do is connect to the network, and if you don't have even PoE switch, it does have DC or 12 volt connect the power to it, and then the camera will be functional. You don't really need to add PoE or NVR for camera to be operated. And also in this case, it will outbid any kind of analog system because you don't need DVR, you don't need NVR, you don't need to run wire, you don't need to buy a hard drive, you don't need to buy additional monitor. So installation will be a lot easier. Another thing that we added, we call it ANR. Let's say you have 4 cameras and they all have SD cards. If the NVR disconnected from the camera itself, but the camera still has power, the camera will start recording to the SD card because it's got disconnected between the NVR and the camera. So if the NVR is lost as the video signal from the camera, it will stop recording. During this time, the camera will record everything to the SD card slot, and when the connection between the NVR and the camera will be established, the camera will push the video content back to the NVR, so you will have those backup video too. So this is one of the features the camera has SD cards will allow you to do. And the next question is this 3-axis. All the cameras, all the 5 megapixel, as you look at the video picture right now, pretty much every camera is 3-axis except the turret camera. But because the turret, some people call it eyeball, so you can rotate it however you want. So it's pretty much the camera they're all pretty much 3-axis. Is Stone 3-axis? Yes, they are 3-axis cameras. You're probably missing in the description, yeah, but they are 3-axis. Yeah, see this one is at 3-axis adjustment. This one is also 3-axis adjustment. So Robert has a question. Do you need software to view the SD card? No. Well, it's optional. So let's say if you're using the NVMe 7000 on the mobile app, you will have a playback option on your phone. So the phone will access the SD card memory from your phone. And also if you have NVMe 7000 installed on the computer, you also can access the video data from the SD card. Of course, a traditional way will be you will use a browser to log into the camera and use the playback function on it. So either way, you will be able to access the SD card. We have a question from Robert. So what if the camera is a standalone? Yes, the camera is standalone. You still have to connect to the network for you to access it. So as soon as the camera is connected to the network with power, so you're able to access the data or you're able to look at the video over the computer, your phone or your tablet. So we're going to talk about some case study that some of our customer that was able to accomplish more large scale installation. The picture you're looking at here is one of the shopping center in one of the mall in Dallas, Texas. There's about 60 cameras installed in 6 outdoor retail center. The mall management wanted surveillance camera protect the public at the major hardware store, nursery, and organic grocery store at some of the centers. They wanted monitoring in common area using both HD-TVI and IP network solutions. So they chose the camera they choose our HD-TVI because our HD-TVI DVR are able to take some IP cameras too. This is why one of the reasons they chose us. And also the challenge is for a successful installation, the installer invented a lot of pre-planning into this project. The installer's first priority was figuring out proper height distances, lens specs at each location for the perfect surveillance coverage. Once the specific height and spec were determined, he established a wire route for the camera to connect to the main center security location for all 6 retail centers where there are DVRs and NVRs. As mentioned here, because of the camera that we offer has different kind of lens. So we don't need just have 2.8 and 4mm lens and plus varifocal. We also introduce 6mm. A lot of times our installer like to choose 2.8 because it covers the most. But the thing is when you have 2.8 lens, you have less forensic detail because the lens sits backward compared to others. So, and also you will have area that will overlap in certain case. So that's why we do have offer like multiple lens option. We recently introduced 6mm lens also. This is the list of the product they use. They use some of the turn camera, they use some of the 2-megapixel IP camera, and the mini dome 4-megapixel and fish eye camera also implemented. They also have used some mini dome camera. For successful installation, the installer invented a lot of planning because that's something we talked about earlier. He placed 5 camera models in and around the perimeter of each mall, including the parking lot, for added security to stores, employees, and customers. And also, this customer also have a central monitor station. The NVMe 7000 for the computer also installed at this security center. So they were able to monitor all the DVR and NVR on just one computer, which is something that we offer for free. Okay, so the result, the property manager for the retail center was grateful for each source of service and highest quality LTS product. They have room to expand and in fact is still growing to add another 20 cameras total. Overall, the installer was happy about how smooth the project went and it was the property managers. So this is one of the good example. This is another case study from our customer. This location is still ongoing, so it's not complete yet. This is one of All Seasons Hotel. It's located in New York, LaGuardia Airport, right across the street from it. It's the first one in the United States, so they will expand the territory in the US starting too. The introduction is once known as All Seasons Hotel. The Ibis style hotels is an international chain with property across Europe, Latin America, Asia, Australia, and Africa. The most recent Ibis hotel is near completion and 8-story high by the LaGuardia Airport in New York to welcome travelers. With people from all over the world coming to stay, hotel management wanted a surveillance system that was affordable and would allow full substantial awareness to protect guests and employees from crime on the premises. In New York, ever been to New York, you'll notice pretty much everywhere have cameras now. If you're from New Jersey, you will probably seen not many houses will have cameras, but in New York, pretty much every other homeowner install cameras now because of the crime rate is increasing. Same thing to hotel. This hotel is 24/7 operation, so that's why they want to protect their asset, also their employee, also their guests 24/7. And the challenge this installer has was the installer hired to do this job was given a strict budget and faced a lot of competitive pricing. He chose LTS for the high quality product and the end-to-end support with security consultants. The installer is also on tight deadline, only given a few months to complete this project. There's a couple of things here. The first thing is, you mentioned tight budget. Our LTS camera provide high quality. Also, we are not expensive, super expensive camera. We also, at the same time, we provide top-notch quality. So we're able to help the installer to win the job. And also, the installer also had a tight deadline because at this location, I believe, was about 80 cameras in New York. We have local stock inventory. So you don't have to wait for our main warehouse to ship to you from California. That will take a few days. Because of the strict timeline, we were able to get the cameras pretty much the next day to the installer to finish up the project. So the solution is basically the camera will place in the corner of the lobby, bar, hallway, and even the outside area. The installer is still choosing an NVR for this installation project. This phase is they still only installing cameras. They haven't get to the NVR part yet. The result is the installation is still ongoing, but LTS end-to-end support process move forward smoothly. And the camera they chose on this project was the 4-megapixel 2.8 lens and also 4-megapixel 2.8mm lens with the WDR function. This is the case study that there's 2 major case studies that we chose to present to you guys. Do you guys have any question regarding the webinar today? If you use an SD card and the camera is standalone, how do you view it? The camera going to be connecting to the existing network. For example, you're going to connect to the router. Once you connect to the router, of course, the camera requires power because it doesn't have PoE, so you hook up a DC 12-volt power to the camera. So when the camera is operational, is on the network, you will use the IP address to access the camera. And once you access the camera, on the top of the tab, you will see a playback. Kelvin, to optimize 5-megapixel viewing, what type of screen would you recommend? It doesn't really necessary to use 2K TV, 4K TV, things like that. I would say you could just keep it as 1080p. 5-megapixel is not nearly 4K yet. It's more like 1.5. So I think 1080p is good enough. So it will help you to actually, when you use, we call it the digital zoom in, we actually give you a better detail in that case. So we don't really have to spend extra money to get better TV in that case. This is one of the camera, the fisheye camera we have on premises in New Jersey right now. So as you can see, once you log into the camera, on the top, you will have a playback function. So if you do have an SD card, you're able to click the playback function, and then you will search by date and time, and you'll be able to play back. But because of this fisheye camera, doesn't have an SD card as a setup for recording. So that's why you're not able to access it. But this is an idea on how you're able to do playback on a standalone camera. camera. Okay, I think that's it. Me and Audrey, thank you so much for joining us today and spending your valuable time, and thank you.